Again, if you're in here, again, if you're not with me still, feel free to join my Telegram channel, whereby we're going to give more updates, more 5 elements, wisdom stuff, and empowerment, okay? How you can use 八字, feng shui, Chinese medicine, and stuff like that. So Aureliana now is already updating a lot of information from the Telegram as well. So if you have any other questions about health or TCM or Chinese medicine, also feel free to just go to the Telegram and ask out, all right? So now, just a little bit of introduction, enough of me talking. Guys, by the way, I need you guys to be also quite interactive, okay? Because I'll be talking too much otherwise, okay? So I'm just gonna give an introduction about myself. I'm not sure how many of you guys here are new, right? But myself, my name is Esther, okay? I'm the founder of Chinese Metaphysics. I'm also a consultant, a coach, and a trainer. I'm a pharmacist myself, also do health consulting, and also a certified meditation coach, and also a yin teacher instructor. Okay, I will sign up. Just hope that yeah, I hope it will not clash. Okay, good. All right. So I know Augustine you've been wanting to sign up since last year, but this year I think we really upped the game. Really been using one whole year to actually plan this thing out. Okay, so just hold on to the very end. All right. So now, Aureliana, maybe you want to introduce.
Yes. Hello, Esther. Hello, everyone. Probably some of you know me from last year, and for the guys that don't know me, my name is Aureliana Corcodel. I'm from Romania. I'm a pharmacist by profession, same as Esther, and I found some 8 years ago my passion in Chinese medicine. And since then, I switched professions, and I'm now a psycho-emotional acupuncture therapist. And I facilitate personal transformation and understanding with this great tool. Also, a counselor for personal development. And thank you again, Esther, for having me here. And let's rock and roll to see what we have prepared for today.
Yes. Okay, so I'm really curious on what you guys might think what we have tonight, because we haven't actually shared this out yet, and this is really just, I would say, 10% of things. 10% of things. Okay, really, there's a lot more. I realize sometimes it's just too much. All right, so guys, going straight to the key takeaways, right? So you guys are here for a reason. These are the key takeaways that I hope that I will achieve everything, and perhaps you are looking for this as well, right? So number one of the first key takeaways that I hope that I will be able to deliver tonight and you guys to take home tonight is the insights of landscape change, right? In health, very specifically, during period 9. Okay, why is this really important? Again, along the way, you will notice I keep emphasizing this. The reason why I talk about period 9 and only now, okay, is because it has to be, we have to change the way how we actually do things, okay? So tonight's session is to show you the change of the landscape, right? And from there, hopefully you will see that there is a need to actually change what we are doing, right? And literally a big shift in mindset, okay? Secondly, the key takeaway here, all right, is hopefully that you guys could be able to see how we actually combine the use of Chinese metaphysics, right? The use of Chinese metaphysics and Chinese medicine together as a synergistic tool to improve health and transformation, all right? And last but not the least, what is the best approach of health in period 9? So today, mainly, guys, there is no notes. You're not attending a physical or technical class, right? So take it easy. Take it easy. Let me know what you think. Bounce back, joke, talk in the chat box, okay? Don't have to be too stressed about it, right? So it's not a technical class. Unless you have a technical question, just write in the chat box. We will answer if we can, all right? Because there is technicality within what we are showing you guys, okay? So these are the 3 main key takeaways, right? Now, I'm just going to start off with a little bit of story here, okay? So let me get myself, okay? So I'm just going to start off with a little bit of story here. Is this, yeah? 84%, right? Health, you can read this, guys. You can actually read this, right? 84% of people actually says that health awareness has increased after COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, let me know. Okay, and type. Maybe you can just type me or yes. Okay, if you fall under this category. Okay, if you personally has become more aware of your health, okay, ever since pandemic, type 1. Okay, this is what a survey actually say, and I think right after so there's quite a number of you guys. Okay, hi Sally, right? So now, okay, so what we see is this, many people never used to think about health. Many people never think about health. Okay, many people never think about health. Okay, right? So what we actually also noticed from another paper from the World Economic Forum is new research actually showed, okay, new research actually showed that people are more health conscious today. Okay, right? Suddenly everybody want to look into health. I tell you one thing, right? And also many FMCG gurus in 2021 shows that 61% of consumers, right, are looking into leading a healthier lifestyle. Okay, but whether, by the way, is sustainable is another thing, because now pandemic is already over, right? Pandemic is during pandemic time, everybody got really scared. Okay, everybody suddenly become healthy, but it's not sustainable. Okay, let me know if you're part of that as well, right? Okay, because I was part of that as well. I suddenly become healthy and then I went back to normal because the world has opened, right? But with that, regardless, right, health awareness has increased tremendously. Okay, but then again, right? Some data actually shows otherwise. Some data actually shows otherwise, because 1 in 4 adults still, or 81% of people, are actually not doing much physical activities. Okay, in fact, the level of inactivity grows higher. Okay, are you guys part of the one who sit in the office and work from home, don't move much? Okay, maybe you're within this 81% of the people, right? Secondly, is this morning rush. 1 in 4 say they never have time to make breakfast, right? Thirdly, is this 1 in 5 adults in the United States experience mental illness, but only half of them actually receive treatment, right? So what does this actually tell us, right? The reality is this. So what if there is health awareness? So what if you know about it? Honestly, this is the real problem, by the way, because we ourselves are practicing health professionals. We do get very tired sometimes to keep telling people about health awareness, and obviously pandemic has helped us do that, but people are still not taking action, right? And we are not saying that only out of our experience, right? We are also looking at a lot of statistics that say so. Okay, right? So if you are guilty of it, maybe you're part of this. But I can tell you why. So this kind of research is actually being done quite comprehensively, right? So this data here, I'm going to show you guys here, it actually comes from the American Heart Association. And do let me know if you resonate with any of them, So I narrowed down to 5 top reasons, 5 top reasons, very common reasons on why people, or why us, we human beings, right, do not take action on the health. Okay, so first one, lack of time. Okay, so let's just laugh it out if you're one of them. Okay, because I am definitely one of them. I always complain that I don't have enough time, therefore I don't do anything about it. Okay, secondly is this, procrastinate. People do procrastinate about their health, right? Because later, tomorrow, after, 1 year after, and that. And this is actually quite a big number. We are looking at 72%. 72% of people are actually not taking action due to procrastination. Okay. The next one is lack of knowledge, right? So just be more aware of this. awareness and knowledge are two different things. So when it means by 72% of people are lack in knowledge, it means that they don't know what to do, although they know what's going on. Right? A lot of people don't know what is the next step, because one of the reasons, by the way, because everyone is overwhelmed with information, right? So lack of knowledge is one, right? Fear is 38%. Okay, fear is 38%, right? Fear of knowing, so you don't care. All right. Next one, okay, which is quite high, 51% of us who do not take any action, okay, believe that we are healthy. Okay, we are healthy. So these are the common reasons, by the way, right, that we see around. Okay, and this is also by research, okay, the common reasons, okay, right? So if you fall within any of them, by the way, I would say this webinar is for you. Okay, I would say this webinar is for you. Okay, personally, I tick every boxes. Honestly, I tick every boxes. Well, not so. Okay, now not so. All right, but do I still procrastinate? Yes. Do I still have fear? The answer is still yes. Okay, so it's normal if you guys have any of this, because most of us actually have this problem as well. So now, the thing is, right, I'm sure all of you guys here and most people actually know about this. And guess what? I think some of you guys are even guilty about it. You know about it, but don't do anything about it. So deep down, we sure feel like, you know, it's a guilt feeling, you know. It's like, you know, but you still don't do anything about it, right? So the thing is, why are we not doing it? What's really going on? Well, the reason why I bring this up, okay, is because I think we have an obligation here, right, to remind you that this has consequences. This has real consequences, okay, because we've seen enough to people, even to ourselves, I would say. So what happened is, because we don't know, or maybe we don't remember what are the consequences whenever we decide to not do anything about our health. We forget about it. Okay, so in this webinar, I hope I'm able to trigger your memory. Okay, so now, what are the few things that ignoring your health would lead to? Number one, reduce work productivity. So what now, guys, if you actually are saying that, oh, you don't have time because you're very busy working, you don't have time because you need to fulfill this deadline. Very common, yeah? Okay, so what? At the end of the day, the consequences is this, right? If you don't stop and actually recover, okay, what will happen is this: it will affect your job. Okay, not only that, in many cases, guys, what will happen is not just productivity, but you will hate your job. Right? It's a job that you used to love, but because of this stress, because of the health problems, you will start to have very low satisfaction about what you do. Okay, so leading to unhappiness. Next one, also, career opportunities are limited. Yeah, because why? Your health conditions may not be fit enough to do certain jobs. Okay, which then narrows down and limit your opportunities. Right? Next one is what? Relationship problems. Relationship problems. Okay, so what you know, many people think that, oh, how can my health relate to relationship? Guys, it does. Okay, simple things like, example, if you are very tired, you're very frustrated after a long day of work, you come back home, you don't connect with your family, you don't connect to your spouse, you lose your temper because you're extremely tired, it will impact relationships. Not only that, not only the family relationships, yeah, but it will also impact a lot of your colleague relationships, yeah, dynamics at the workplace, yeah, all of it because of health problems, yeah. Okay, so don't think that it has no relation to it. Okay, the next one is financial burden, right? Financial burden is very important. Okay, very important, because financial costs of healthcare costs, by the way, it's not cheap. In fact, it's getting more and more expensive. Yeah. I'm telling this also because I'm in the industry for almost a decade. I know how the pricing will go. Okay, so it's very, very expensive. Okay, so it's going to in fact increase even more, right? So this will lead to a financial problems at the end of the day. Okay, next one, of course, is lower quality of life. Okay, you can't enjoy life the fullest because of health reasons. Okay, a simple thing like enjoying good food because you got health problems, right? Typical one is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cannot enjoy good food basically, yeah. But you don't do anything about it. It's like, no. I know many people who don't take medications, by the way, because of that. And at the end of the day, they don't do anything about it. And at the end of the day, they can't enjoy their life. Okay. So these are the problems. All right. So it is an indirect problem, right, to many other things, which is the thing that we are always trying to strive for, which is our career, our money, our relationship, at the end of the day, our life. Okay. So it's extremely, extremely important to understand that this can impact, because many times clients come to us, they talk about all these problems. Usually it's tied up with health. So what if you know what is the next strategy, but you cannot do it because your body cannot sustain, right? Example, okay? So these are very, very important, very, very important, okay? So now, again, fun fact, right? I got this from the American Heart Association. So you might think that, oh, you know what? I'm young, it's fine. I'm strong. Well, guess what? This is one of the recent paper that was actually published. The actual numbers, you can get it off the American Heart Association. Okay, so this is a very common thing among young adults or young people, right? They say that, you know what? I'm young. My health is not an issue. I don't have to look at it. All right, but the truth is, okay, it's not. Today, numbers has changed. Right, I have been selling diabetic drugs and hypertensive drugs, and basically my target are always cardiovascular and diabetic patients. The patient profile is becoming younger and younger throughout the years. Okay, and more evidence nowadays, right, is showing that young people is very prone to get stroke. As simple as, how old we're looking at middle-aged adult, 18 years old to 44 years old. It's very common, by the way. It's very, very common. It's no longer a shock that a patient is actually having like a full therapy of cardiovascular drugs, right, at the age of 30. It's no longer a shocking thing. And it's going to get more, okay? Which also shows that, right, based on this paper, similar paper, 1 in 4 middle-aged adults are actually having high blood pressure. Well, back then in the days, at least my era, okay, high blood pressure is only meant for elderlies, okay? Well, no longer anymore, all right? No longer anymore, okay? And based on these projections, 44% increase in stroke in the future. So we are looking at 2030, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, on top of that, 20% increase in high blood pressure among these age groups, okay, by 2030, right? So I'm showing you real numbers, guys, right? I'm showing you real numbers because these are the truth, okay? Not until, the reason why I'm showing this, right? Because myself and Aureliana here, we are the victim of this, okay? So we were very young, we get something like this. And we didn't know until shit hit the fan, okay? So that's the problem, right? But back then, it's not really a big issue. Now is evident, right? It's getting clearer and clearer. But these things doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, why is this thing happening? Again, if you understand the concept of cosmic trinity, right? And chi flow, right? Everything is ever moving. Same goes to health evolution. That's why even what kind of disease will happen to us, the landscape, the type of patient, as we are speaking, is ever changing. Because why? Health evolution itself is governed by this factor called the time. times have changed. It's inevitable, something that we cannot control. First. Secondly, environment. Environment has changed so much. Nowadays, right, today as I'm talking to you guys here, is a different environment than 10 years ago when I'm doing my marketing presentation in the meeting room. Yeah, it's very different. And also pandemic happened, right? COVID happened. It changed the environment entirely. Not only that, our job is more demanding and competitive. It will trigger our health even more. Yeah, it will trigger our health. Doesn't matter. So if we are put back in the days, it's going to be very different. Okay, so we need to also understand that our baseline of health is changing all the time. So we need to rethink about, okay, why younger people nowadays are falling sick faster. I'm not sure, have you guys ever heard things like, hey, last time when I was in that age, I don't fall sick like you. Today, all kids fall sick faster than normal. All. Okay, why? Food are more processed now. Screen time increased. Back then, where got handphone? Where got social media? Where got internet? So these are environments, okay, environmental factor that triggered the change, hence evolve in terms of health problems, all right? Human choices, okay, also have, yeah, the act of humans, okay? Climate change, our environment, all these, by the way, guys, this impact. So what I'm trying to tell from here is that we cannot always view our health like how it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Never, because it will change, right? Especially now. Okay, the landscape of health, as you can see here, it's ever evolving, even more now, because period change. We have waited for 2-3 years to collect data. So whatever data you've seen earlier on is all quite fresh data, meaning from 2019, 20, 21, 22, right? Today is 2023. Within the 4 years and 3 years time, we have seen health landscape change tremendously. Okay, why? Period change. So in a metaphysics perspective, Chinese metaphysics perspective, right? We have this thing called the period cycle. Okay, so I bet all of you guys here, most of you guys here, I believe, is from Chinese metaphysics background. Okay, so this is what it means by period change. Yeah, period change. So this is, we call this the feng shui change. Okay, the timing. So total, we have 3 big cycles that contain 60 years, and each of the 60 years we have 3 periods. Each of the periods we have 20 years. Right? Currently, we are actually running at the lower period, right? Okay, so for those who doesn't know, we are currently in this cycle. Okay, so what happened is this time has passed, this time we are still on, and this is the future. Okay, this is the future, right? So basically, I'm going to share with you guys these few things, all right? Period 7 and period 8, okay? Let you guys see and understand how the evolution actually happened, right? And this will impact how we actually deal with health problems, okay? So now in period 7, is the 1984 until 2003, right? This 20 years period, right, is what we call period 7, okay? So guys, for those who were living, I'm not sure what is the age gap here, but those who are during this period of time, can you tell me, okay, type in the chat box, right? What is the few health problems that you remember during this period of time? Do you remember any? Come, type. I'm not sure how many of you guys were actually already born during this time. It's a very long time. So if you're actually born during this time, means you know which era you're in. So tell me, type it out. Okay. So 8, heart attack. Okay, so Grace, just tooth extraction. That's a good one. Okay, diabetes, SARS is 2003. Well, good one. Okay, right. So we have a few: 8, heart attack, Okay, so guys, anyone else? Don't know, right? Don't know. Okay, so cancer, 对挂, mouth, throat, pandai, this one. Eye problem. Okay, so now guys, I show data. I was born during this time lah. Okay, so probably you guys experience more. That time no healthcare background yet. Okay, only after I study. Hand, foot, mouth. Interesting. All right. So I think hand, foot, mouth is quite it. Yeah. Okay. So now, if you actually search in the Google, okay, go search in the Google, right? The top few because I within the range, I picked the one in between. So 1984 up to 2003, I picked the one in the peak, right? So usually the peak is where the things really happen. Okay, so during this period of time, what happened? Respiratory infection is actually extremely high. Diarrhea, tuberculosis, and malaria. So if you notice one thing about all these, is actually related to like coming out on, 排毒, is it quite 排毒, right? Means excretion problem, right? Excretion problem. Okay, so we're looking at respiratory infection, breathing, diarrhea coming out. TB is also a respiratory problem, malaria, okay, malaria. So there's actually quite a lot, okay. Anyway, let's see what's next. 1990s medicine and health topics and news. AIDS, the continuing epidemic. I think you guys mentioned about AIDS. Abortion, okay, the continuing fight, right? So we see these trends during period 7, okay. And what's next, right? This awareness, right? During this period of time, many people actually die of HIV. Yeah, there was where infection disease and awareness, and there's a lot of message and awareness on sexual orientations as well. Remember? Okay, right? I think quite a lot of I think one of the, who was it? Freddie Mercury, yeah, was one of the victims of it. Okay, right? So we see this thing, they hike up during that time, right? Hike up during that time. Okay, so now let's look at Tui Gua, right? So in Tui Gua itself, we look at it. Early heaven, we are looking at metal element. Later heaven, we are looking at water. We actually see 2 elements, not just 1. Okay, not just 1, right? So we are looking at all this, okay? So if that's the case, right? Okay, so metal element actually, if you understand the energetic organ, right, it impacts the overall immunity of somebody. So metal element also represents what? The respiratory system, the skin, okay? So anything that is related to immunity, right? I'm not surprised why one of the few very high cases are actually respiratory disease. Yeah, respiratory disease. So problems with the ENT as well. Okay, problem with the ENT as well, right? So infection rate is very high. Okay, because immunity is low, right? But very specifically, I will look at lungs. Okay, lungs. Water element. Okay, water element also relates to our vitality, right? Vitality, because it stores the essence. Okay, so we are looking at all these. So period 7, Tui Gua is a time of expression. Okay, so urinary or lung infection related problems, sexual related problems, because that's water element. Okay, and next is what? Drug abuse and substance. Yeah, so in here, if you notice one thing, I don't specify the disease. Okay, why is that so? Because whenever it comes to forecasting or predicting a certain form of health problems, it's not just look at the element, look at the associated organs. No, but also look at how a certain period impact the culture. Yeah, impact the energy of the overall time. Okay, so if you notice that time is where the people are more free. Yeah, they talk about expression. Okay, and then you combine another layer. They're talking about sexual related problems. right? There's where the water element come in. So HIV, AIDS, all these problems come in. I'm not surprised. Okay, so we are looking at disease that manifests because of certain problems. Always look in that angle. It's never advisable to just look at one element and direct it to an organ, but it doesn't work that way, right? It doesn't work that way because disease, they evolve. It's a dead thing. What changes is the energy, right? So disease is actually just a name, okay? So this is very important. So period 7 is all about this. So now let's look at period 8. Yeah, period 8. Okay, so period 8 is within 2003 to 2023, right? So if we look at period 8, okay, yeah, I shouldn't show you guys this. I forgot to ask you all. So what happened during this period of time? Okay, what happened during this period of time? 2003 to 2023. Do you remember this period of time? I remember very clearly this period of time because I was part of the problem. Okay, right? Okay, Ebola. Okay. Ebola is earth related. Okay, never mind. Dengue. I got dengue, yes. I had dengue too that time. Right? So, stomach intestine disease. Very good, very good. Okay, so it's everybody knows it's a earth element. So earth relates straight to stomach. Okay, but we need to extrapolate a little bit. Yeah, joints. Okay. Sally, why you say joints? Because you got joint problem. Okay, right? Okay. So your joint problem must have happened during this period. Yeah? Okay. Perfect. All right. So emotional. What kind of emotional? Okay. Right. So let's look into something deeper. Yeah, something deeper. So what we're looking at, really again, I based on stats. Stats. Right? So we see this thing. Ta-da! Obesity becomes the buzzword. Okay? Right? Obesity becomes the buzzword. Right? So there is an increase, extreme increase, okay? When it comes to obesity. So again, right? Some of you guys actually did mention earth-related problem. Yeah, so earth-related problem, again, extrapolate our mind a little bit. Stomach problem, right? Stomach related to what? Food lah, what else? So we are relating to food-related problems. So any sort of disease, right, that pulls into obesity, yeah, what can they create? Excess weight is tied up with type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Yeah. So again, you notice one thing. It's not about like earth element, then cancer. No. Earth element, type 2 diabetes. No. Not so simple yet. Okay, not so simple one. These things are merely a disease. Merely a disease. Okay? Because basically what we're looking at is disease that are caused by food problem. Yeah? Food problem. Okay, metabolic syndrome is one of them because the food will impact the metabolic. Okay, so what you guys know now in terms of science, right, is the disease. But the cause of it can be very different, because not every time when you get a type 2 diabetes means it's food related. There's two types of diabetes, right? Not every time you get a heart disease means it's food related. No, but in period 8, most likely the impact comes from food. There's also, have you guys heard the rich people actually got the fat people's disease? The rich people's disease are actually all the sample, basically your cholesterol, your high blood pressure, and also your diabetes, right? Because they eat well. Okay, they eat well. Okay, they eat well, right? All right, so this is the buzzword. Okay, another one is what? Besides being obese, right? What is this? Ta-da! I was part of this group. I was part of this group. All right, eat too well, yeah, eat too well, correct, right? So besides being too fat, there's also a problem of being too skinny, you know. Right? There's also a problem of being too skinny. Why is that? You look at this time, I'm not sure. I was from this era, okay? We call this the diet culture era, all right? It's the diet culture era, whereby everybody just want to be skinny. Okay, so if you look anything bigger than this, technically you're fat, okay, in the 90s. I was one of them. I was really, 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 really skinny until my bone, you can collect coins, you know, that bad. And yet I still call myself fat because so the media has put it that way, which then leads to this problem, the pressure of being thin. Yeah. And if you look at all the top magazines, right, it's all talking about this. Yeah. Eating disorder. Yes. Oh, Twiggy. Right? They're all eating disorders. Okay. So again, if you notice now, the concept is this, right? The concept is this, right? It's not so direct as you see earth element, this stomach problem. Okay. The one, okay, what's next? So again, we need to understand the scope, we extrapolate the problem. Okay. Then that's how we relate it back to reality, what it is, right? Most of the time, whenever we tend to say that, oh, stomach problem, is by textbook. By textbook. It's very hard to come up with this kind of stuff without experiencing and research, right? Because by textbook, they don't say this, okay? Because you need both knowledge, yeah, medical knowledge as well, very important, okay? So now, guys, as what you guys say was almost there, yeah, almost there, okay? So early heaven, right, wood element, later heaven is earth element. So period 8 times, we're actually looking at both elements, the earth and the wood. Okay, but of course we resonate more of the earth because it's the later heaven. So most of the time, later heaven, we see it pretty clear. Okay, but it's actually a both combination of things. So again, stability related, right? Accumulation and slow. So during this period of time, people are least flexible. They're not that flexible. So also relate to bone related, ligaments related, sinus related problems. Okay, people are not moving much as well culturally. Look at how corporate offices actually grew during this period of time. We sit in the office until our backside become really big. Don't we all look like a mountain? Yes, we do. Okay, so that is when the era actually happens. Right? So we are looking at a lot of eating disorder, mobility issues, and also if we relate this into disease, disease, we are looking at anorexic, bulimia, obesity, and cancer. Cancer, diabetes. Gout is a very popular one, by the way. Gout is both wood element and also earth element problem. The nature. Okay. High blood pressure, cardiovascular disease. So one of the very popular period 8 cardiovascular disease are actually cholesterol blockages, right? Because again, it's the accumulation of fats. Yeah. So cardiovascular disease. Okay. Again, cardiovascular disease has a lot of causes. Let me repeat, causes. Okay. Because you may see a repeat of disease in certain cycle or certain periods, but the cause of it is very different. Why is it important to know the cause? Because by truly understanding the cause, you will know what is the treatment strategy. Okay, we cannot treat a period 8 cardiovascular disease versus a period 9 cardiovascular disease. It's an entirely different game, right? So now, period 8 is also related to anxiety and fertility problems. Okay, fertility problems, right? Now, period 9. Okay, period 9. What are we anticipating? Right? What are we anticipating? Okay, now, guys, period 9, as you all know, okay, as you all know, is Li Gua, right? So now, make a wild guess. Make a wild guess. Okay, what do you think? What do you think, guys? Come on, I need you to tell me. Ha 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 ha. Eye problem, nervous system, psychological, temperamental, blood, Nice. Okay. Okay, hard. Fast and furious. I like that. DNA. What's that? All right, so you guys got it almost there. Yeah, you guys. Oh, genetic disorder. There's an interesting one. Okay, genetic disorder. All right, brain, good. Mental, heart, eye, blood. Okay, so what you guys described was actually the associated, right? Associated organs to the fire element. Correct? Mental health disease, depression. Very good. Everyone say this, mental, okay, very good. All right. So again, now we look early heaven, metal, later heaven, fire. So guess what? We are looking at a combination of a little bit both, right? So now, if you notice, the metal element also appear in period 7. Okay, we are also looking at a bit of metal problem. So let's not forget what happened during period 7, basically, right? Basically, okay, but it's going to be slightly different, right? Because times has already evolved, right? So maybe different type. Correct, immunity, yes. Okay, so now what you guys say was absolutely right. So we are looking at not just mental. Okay, I think some of you guys say mental. All of you guys say mental, but you never talk about emotion. So mental and emotions, yeah, mental and emotion. Okay, and if we see the liqua is also, yeah, heart related or emosi, yeah, emosi. Okay, it's not just the brain. So this is where also I would like to highlight. Okay, the brain and the heart is 2 different things, right? The brain and the heart is different, yeah. So we are talking about mental and emotion. Okay, mental and emotion, not just mental, both, right? Because why? Fire is related to connection. Humans they need connection one. Okay, intimacy, but not just with others, but with the self. Okay, with the self, right? Hence, you can see nowadays many of these kind of problems. Yeah, many of these kind of problems. If you are looking at associated organs, we are looking at blood vessels in general, blood, heart, and eye. So this is just the physical organs. Okay, these are just the physical organs, which you guys actually got it absolutely right. Okay, the next one is immunity related. Don't forget about this. The reason why most of the time at this period we are forgetting about immunity, because our technology has advanced. Vaccines, database, our R&D is more and more advanced. But what this only tells us that our immunity is getting weaker, because each time we need stronger drugs. That's how we make money in pharmacy. Okay, don't say that. Okay, so basically, right, immunity related problems. Okay, this is, we cannot disregard this. Next one, isolation and sedentary lifestyle. Yeah, so this again is part of what's coming. Yeah, people is going to be working alone. Like me, I do work alone most of the time now, right? But I still have partners working with people, but we are working more in isolation these days. Yeah, so that itself would lead to problems like connection with people. Yeah, and that itself will trigger the emotions and the mind. Okay, then next, sleep disorder, burnout, blur mind. Okay, yeah, these are also the few related problems. Okay, so basically how we actually want to have like a vision, like sharp vision, it's going to be quite blur. Okay, on top of, by the way, yeah, which I'm going to share with you guys, besides just looking in an elemental perspective, in reality, how is it implied as well? I'm going to show you guys that, right? Okay, next one is substance abuse. Yeah, period 7, remember? Okay, so substance abuse, some of you guys might ask, hey, how is this related to substance abuse? Substance abuse is just an outcome. It's just an outcome. Why? People want a quick fix. The pain is too much, it's unbearable. Yeah, people seek for connection, because a metal related problem, it's also to do with connection with divinity, the divine, the universe, right? So substance abuse is something that people might want to get into to feel something, okay? And you know, with now the technology and the availability of things, it's quite easy, right? So we are looking during period 9, these kind of problems will actually appear. Of course, we are also looking like cardiovascular disease, yeah? But if you notice one thing, there's not much of food-related problems. Yeah, people today, compare back then, even ask yourself this question, you know that you're not into that kind of food anymore. Yeah, so it won't, most likely it won't lead to cardiovascular problems. Okay, but we're looking at different sort of problems. Okay, so cardiovascular disease will still be there, but the cause of it will be entirely different. Okay, so now we look into few evidence, guys. Okay, so I highlighted here. I think some of you guys may have seen this slide before. Okay, before going into period 9, I highlighted this, the pit stop. There's always 2 pit stop. Yeah, 2017 and 2020. 2017 and 2020. So why these 2 pit stop? The first one, 2017, is because at the heavens plate is already period 9. 2020, why the second pit stop? The conjunction happened then. The planetary alignment is already in period 9 during this time. Okay, so during these times or in transition of that times, usually big things will actually happen. Now we are here, the last year. Okay, so let's look at some track records. Track records. Okay, 2017, there has already been certain things going on. Maybe we are not aware yet, but this article was actually issued on 2017 itself, saying that we are not ready for the next pandemic. Okay, who is this? Mr. Bill Gates, right? So he did mention on 2017, okay, that there will be a huge epidemic, like flu epidemic, that we can't handle. So again, remember, early heaven was what? Metal element. Metal element is related to lungs, respiratory. These things has already started highlighting. Yeah, the time frame itself doesn't go far. If you are in the health industry, you would know this. Because I was still working in my pharma company that time. So we all were looking at this when we start producing a lot of vaccines. Okay, right? Yes. Okay, so the next one is this. I'm not going to show more, but this is also 17 itself. China was actually this avian virus. Yeah, this is only one of it. And if I'm not mistaken, Ebola was also during this period of time. Okay, Ebola. All right, Ebola existed long time ago, but it increased and went up tremendously in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And 2017, it resurfaced again. But because this is still like the early heaven impact, right? It's not that serious yet. Not that serious yet. Just stare and then go away. Everything will be controlled later on with certain vaccines, right? But then again, 2020 happened. Okay, 2020 happened. So 2020 was when COVID triggered, right? And not only that, this thing has triggered many things like this: mental health, anxiety, depression, mental health, and again, not just mental health, young people, mental health. Okay, so throughout the process towards period 9, right, which we are in right now, these are already signs and symptoms. Yeah, signs and symptoms. So if we think now is high, we don't know what is high yet. Okay, because it will go worse. Okay, it will go worse. Okay, yeah. Next, again, mental health, children's mental health, right? And emerging change. Okay, we start talking about it, that because of the digital tools, there'll be good and there'll be bad. Okay, and now coming back to this, does this make sense today? Yes, this article was made on was issued on 2022. Heart related problem, stroke, yeah, middle age. Okay, is this a period 9 thing? Yes, it is. Right, it's a very beginning phase of period 9. Okay, but then again, yeah, again, more and more. Okay, I don't know why there's I actually collected quite a lot of evidence, okay? So now what's really important to know is this. Remember, I did mention about, hey, you know, the cardiovascular risk is going to be slightly different than period 8. Why is that so? Now, look at this, okay? These are few articles, all right, that showed this. Young adults with depression or poor mental health report more heart attacks and strokes and risk factors. Okay, this wasn't a highlight back then. Yeah, although this has always been an issue, but it wasn't in period 8. Period 8 was talking more on food-related problem leading to heart disease. This time round, and this article is as early as 2023, they analyzed and studied the correlation between mental health and cardiovascular disease. And if you go and do your studies, okay, this is from American Heart Association. It all stated here, okay, that mental health, okay, people who suffer from mental health has 2 times the risk for cardiovascular disease, right? So mental health is not the end game, by the way. The deadly one is the cardiovascular disease, because once it's attacked, it attacks. Okay, but you see the cause is coming from a slightly different angle. Yeah, slightly different angle. Okay, now is this the findings and published recently in the Journal of American Heart Association said this: a large body of evidence link cardiovascular disease risk and death with depression. Yeah, I tell you, future, if those who are in the medical field, the guidelines will change. Yeah, because if you're in medical field, we have a guideline of treatments. The next and the future upcoming guidelines to treat cardiovascular disease is psychological assessment. For sure, they will change if this will be proven in black and white. Okay, but then again, right, in the Western medicine, okay, there's many unanswered questions. Okay, about how this could relate, right? Okay, but Chinese medicine can actually answer the correlation, okay, between the mental and the heart. Because back then, right, we all just see like, oh, the mental, you don't have a tangible thing, you know, how to relate to the heart. So in a Western paper, that it's very difficult to link. Slowly now, they are trying to do a lot of papers to prove that this is actually happening. Okay, but in Chinese medicine, okay, if you know deep enough, right, the heart is an energetic organ, okay, that houses the mind, right, is related. Okay, hence, if the mind is not in peace, it will affect the cardiovascular. So this is where we go deeper into the elements, but it is related, okay? But slowly now, it's showing up, okay? And people are questioning, right? It's going to be entirely different landscape, okay? So now, I'm not going to show more, but this is a burnout problem. Yeah, again, more and more problems, guys. These are very, very recent papers. Burnout is also one of the new things. Yeah, and if you notice, I highlighted here, they are mostly middle-aged adults. Okay, 40s to the 18s, around there, middle-aged. Yeah, middle-aged. I know you might think, why middle-aged? Okay, one of the best example, the Li Gua. Yeah, the Li Gua, maybe, but perhaps talking about women, but unsure yet. Okay, so this is one of the few correlations and connection that we make, right, based on just pure Chinese metaphysics trend, right, together, okay, together, right, with real statistics. And again, we are not officially in period 9 yet. Okay, so really what we see is the surface of things, right? I don't want to talk about technology. Okay, this is all the problem technology will create, all right? Okay, so, okay, now conclusion. What kind of nature of health are we looking at solving? The comparison, okay? Period 8, slow. Period 8, more physical and pain. Yeah, something that you can see, right? People are distracted by stomach ache and things like that. Next is the nature of disease is more inward. Okay, yeah. While in period 9, everything is fast. Same goes to our landscape of change. is gonna be very fast. Okay, so the speed basically, culture is gonna be fast. Everything gonna be fast. Your stress level also gonna increase faster, right? Next is related more to psycho-emotional. Yeah, psycho-emotional problems. Okay, before even your body could feel the pain, your brain will go crazy first, basically, right? So that's gonna happen first. Okay. Next, the energy is more rising and explosive. Yeah, rising and explosive because it's a fire element. Okay, so what does it mean? If you fall sick in period 8, and this, by the way, it's an exercise as a form of, if you're a healthcare practitioner, like myself and Aureliana, we see treatment going to be very different in the future. Yeah, how we are treating patients, how we are dealing with health problems is going to shift because of the shift in the health nature, okay, and the people and the trend, right? So even if you fall sick at period 8, okay, because the nature of health problems evolves slower, you can still take your time, okay, until things become worse. So basically, a very common thing is this, yeah. It happens, then only we go see problem, we go and solve it. Okay, we go and solve it. All right. So now, how about period 9? Okay, how about period 9? Well, period 9 is an entirely different game, yeah, guys. Period 9 is a very, very different game. Okay, so the positive thing in healthcare evolution in period 9 is this few. You have a flu, one day later, you recover. Yeah, so it's not just about health problems happens very quickly, but even recovery happens very quickly because we all have this advancement already. Yeah, so managing symptoms are no longer an issue. Basically, if you have a pain, it's easily fixed, right? Efficiency is improved. Everything is about quick, fast, right? Digital health means also you have accessibility to information. Back then, well, information is gold, you know? Nah, no need anymore, okay? A lot of things, you just download my ebook, you will see the answer, okay? So no point anymore, but this is the plus point about the positive things, right? The next one, awareness is at fingertips. Everything, you just put a watch, yeah, a watch, the watch is just awareness, it doesn't force you to do things, by the way, it tells you how many steps you go, that's it, awareness, yeah, okay, because fire element, awareness, you see things, yeah, right, so that's the positive things about period 9, okay, in terms of health, right, but the negative consequences is this, guys. Physical and tangible symptom-centric treatment. Because people are expecting, hey, get rid of this, just get rid of this. Quick fix, right? So it's more tangible symptom solving. You see there's a pain here, you see there's a pimple here, you get it off. Simple as that. Okay? Yeah? Yeah? Next one is this. Okay? But why is physical and tangible symptom-centric treatment is a negative thing? Because you're actually just getting rid of the symptoms. You're not actually getting rid of the real problem. So physical symptom-centric treatment, what will happen is relapse rate will be higher. It will come back, okay? Rise in healthcare costs, expensive. You want fast, you want efficient, you got to pay. That's it. The cheaper stuff no longer available for you. Okay, so that's why one of the biggest problem in healthcare in the future is also the inequality of healthcare. Yeah, when you're rich, you get treatment. When you don't, you don't. Yeah, you don't. Okay, so this is one of the biggest problem. Not just the gap in wealth, but accessibility to proper healthcare. It's a problem. All the cheap stuff will be obsolete. By the way, all the cheap stuff will be obsolete already. It's just like when you buy an iPhone, right? You just got to upgrade your iPhone all the time because your phone can't sustain the old iOS. It's the same concept. Okay. So the next one is misdiagnosis. Okay, right? The next one is misdiagnosis. Okay, misdiagnosis. Why? Over dependence of technology. Yeah, over dependent. Meaning to say, I can tell you, healthcare professional don't need too much knowledge already. Everything is on database. You put in a formula, everything will be out. So you depend too much on technology. What if got bug? Misdiagnosed. Okay? What if, again, misinformed? Too much information. Okay, wrong information. Impatience, you want it quick. Do it, right? Misdiagnose. Doctor everywhere. Actually, it's quite easy nowadays. I don't want to comment this, okay? Doctor everywhere, right? So again, dependence of drugs due to potential high relapse rate. Again, if we are focusing so much on solving just the pain, but not asking ourselves why the pain happens, it will just come back up. And what's the worst, guys? Immunity, right? Every time you need a stronger drug. Each time, okay, relapse. Our body lose the ability to heal ourselves, guys. This is bad, okay? Right? So if one day you see me, well, we are selling drugs in a way, right? Because we're pharmacists, but these things happen, okay? Everything has side effects, all right? Just so you know, okay? So now, reduce personal interaction, yeah? So reduce personal interaction, I guess it's more on patient satisfaction in terms of treatment, because a lot of things will be tele treatment, yeah? Probably to even dispense a drug. You don't need a pharmacist anymore. So if any pharmacists here are dispensing drugs, you want to think twice what you're doing, okay? So reduce personal interaction. Patients do not have the connection, with doctors. Those bedside treatment, we gone. Yeah, will be gone. Okay, so your recovery satisfaction also will be lower, and that impact recovery progress for the patients. Okay, so these are the few negative consequences. Okay, so as a conclusion, guys, I would like to highlight this before I pass it to Aureliana. Okay, the real health challenge here, by the way, to overcome the real problem here is nothing to do with the treatment. Nothing. So if we are always thinking about what kind of disease will happen, is there going to be a second pandemic? Well, that's not a real concern, because as we evolve further, we have higher, better, more expensive technology to solve all these problems. Okay, efficiency is no longer an issue. Yeah, speed is no longer a problem. Okay, what is the real problem? Is this? Okay, how are you going to sustain to become healthy? Sustainability to longevity, it's a problem. Okay, next, how are you able to manage the intangible conditions? Meaning to say, the mental and emotions. So say this thing, okay? If you don't have any pain, if you're feeling stress, not until you are diagnosed by a proper psychiatrist, you have no drugs. And we are actually facing this problem because we see few clients. I've seen quite a number of friends who are actually having panic attacks, real anxiety, but go doctor, cannot do anything. Go to office, cannot prove that they are unfit, get even more stress, breakdown. Okay, because it's at the fence. A lot of things are at the fence. Mental and emotions is at the fence. Yeah, so these are the real problem. Even, I'm not sure, by the way, any insurance agent here, right? Is this even covered? What is the parameter? Okay, this has been one of the questions as well within the healthcare we've been asking. But that is the real problem, because people are suffering even more and more in period 9. And there is no proper parameter and treatment for this until you're officially diagnosed. Okay, next one is what? How are you going to rely less on drugs when you're in pain? Okay, next one. How are you not going to over-rely on technology so that you can make your own informed choice? Yeah, okay, don't get misdiagnosed or whatsoever. People tell you what, you better know what you're doing. At the end of the day, you are leading your life. You cannot let technology and AI decide how your medications are, okay? Because these things have error, right? Next one is, how are you going to depend on your natural system to recover? Whether you have natural system anymore, I'm not sure. Yeah, so these are the real problems, by the way. So the real health problems is not really a big problem anymore, because a lot of things can be solved very easily with money. Okay, right? Again, how are you going to save your medical costs? This is a real concern, by the way. And these are the few things that hasn't been talked at all. Maybe you just need to collectively collect them, but in a medical sense, I guess these are the few things. Yeah. And period 9 sense, if we're looking into Chinese metaphysics, we haven't actually considered this. Yeah. So these are really something that is very new when we are sharing this out. Okay, because these are what's really going to happen. What's going to happen, I can tell you this. And we are just at the very beginning of things. Okay, next one is this period 9. No, we are coming to the solutions of it, right? Period 9, to sustain the fire chi, the rule is this. You need to have enough cultivation. You know what you want to keep the fire going, you need to put wood, right? Okay, so what's cultivation means? Your inner chi. Yeah, your inner force. Intangible, okay? Right? Again, what does it mean? The key word here is cultivation. Okay, it means what? The little things that you do every day is the solution. Okay, right? Lifestyle, habits, choices, right? And leads to this thing called preventive measure and health empowerment. As you know, period 9 coming, AI has come, we need to make ourselves more human. Therefore, health is a part of empowerment area. Don't even talk about your money or whatsoever first. If we can't even take care of ourselves, don't even talk about making money. Don't even talk about making money. Okay, you can't produce at work, you can't run your business. Simple as that. Right? Right? And what? In the way of mental, emotion, and physical. Okay, so it's a lot of mental and emotion related. Okay, so now guys, what is the next step here from here on? Okay, so this is where Aureliana is going to come in. She's going to share her angle, all right, on what is the solution using Chinese metaphysics, using Chinese medicine.
Hey, thank you, Esther. You see here that, as Esther said, we need to change our perspective in period 9. So it will be a real shifting of focus. We need to pay more attention on the long-term results. And that can be done firstly with prevention, because we know prevention is better than a cure, is better than medicine. And the overall aim of Chinese metaphysics and Chinese medicine is, beside treating different symptoms and having a general well-being, is on prevention actions. So this is the power of Chinese medicine. So these actions need to be part of our daily habits, need to be part of our conscious choices every day. So I was working in pharmacy for some years, and it made me realize the importance of being aware of the importance, the weight of prevention. So I think you can help me with the slides, or do I have access? Okay, thank you. So the approach that we are seeking is a holistic one. I think maybe you've heard this term already, but what does holistic mean? Holistic means is characterized by the treatment of the whole person, taking into account the mental part, the emotional part, the social factors, rather than just the symptoms of the illness. So this the new approach, and the entire focus in period 9 will be on this new approach. It will be very, very individualized. So focused on the whole person and his or her well-being on all planes. So we'll see the person in all different areas of life. And this will be the main focus in period 9, the holistic approach. So together, the person as a whole. Okay. Okay. So here comes, maybe many of you know about, of course, Chinese medicine, but how does Chinese medicine work and heal holistically? So we understand by now that holistically means also physical, mental, emotional, takes into consideration all these factors. But before going into specifics, we'll see that Chinese medicine firstly sees the person with these all these aspects, but sees the person part of nature and not separate of it. So it means we are affected and supported by nature's rhythm, changes, influenced by the bigger environment we are, for example, our planet, the solar system, the Milky Way, the universe itself. So the three main theories that translate everything a person feels, sees, thinks, has, suffers from in their life in practical terms is explained by the following. So the first theory of Chinese medicine, it has three, very important, that we use. The first one is the notion of qi. Probably everyone heard about it, or about energy. Qi is energy. Also, we have recent studies about in the field of quantum physics that say that everything is made up of qi. But what is interesting that the Chinese people found this about 3,000 years ago. So qi is found everywhere in nature. So, and we are part of nature, so we have it in our body. And very important, qi flows through us throughout our life, from when we are conceived until we die. And it runs through our organs, our emotions, our thoughts, and very important, is replenished through the air we breathe and the food we eat. So here we think maybe a bit different of the environment we are, of the quality of air and the quality of food we ingest. So if we compare, let's say, qi energy with electrical current, say we need it for electrical current, we don't see it, but we use it, for example, for our electric devices at home. This is with energy. It's what moves us. And in our body, we have qi is not just okay, it's in our body and that's it. Well, it has some they are called meridians. So these are lines, specific lines in the body that qi, the energy, follows, and there are specific points on the body, on these lines, on these meridians, where we can adjust the flow of energy, because it's very important. Okay, we have qi for us to live, but it's very important to have a free, smooth, quality flow of qi. So I repeat this. In order to be healthy, so healthy body, stable emotional, mental clarity, and saneness, we need to have a free, smooth, and quality flow of qi. So we need to have enough energy for all our organs. And so this was the first theory. Of the second theory, probably everyone I have seen the symbol, is the famous yin and yang symbol. And probably you know some attributes. For example, it represents day and night, masculine and feminine, up or down, hard or soft, water and fire, etc. But with what exactly does it help us practically? How can we use this nice symbol? So yin and yang in health can be, yeah, Esther, if you can help me with our okay, yeah. So how do we translate this, let's say, abstract symbol in real health in our body? So Chinese medicine has the understanding of translating this, let's say, abstract symbol into something very tangible, like useful information about our body. And I'll give some examples for us to be clearer. For example, yin characteristics. The yin characteristics translating into health. The lower part of the body is associated with yin, anterior part of the body, then just a few more. Then chronic symptom means also yin characteristic, cold symptoms like shivering or cold limbs or weak voice. Yang characteristics are upper part of the body. So if we have more symptoms in the upper part of the body, that means we have a yang problem of the energy. So I think I didn't mention. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yin and yang is the same energy, qi, but polarized. Also, we had the anterior part was the yin, a characteristic. Posterior part is the yang. Acute symptom or acute disease is also characteristic of yang energy. If we have heat symptoms, let's say fever or hot extremities, then that means also yang energy. And the third, this was the second theory of yin and yang and how we apply it into health. The third theory that Chinese metaphysics and Chinese medicine use are the 5 elements or the 5 phases of energy. So the same qi, but for a different context, it has 5 phases or 5 phases of transformation. We call them 5 elements, but they are phases of where the qi moves. And they are the Chinese people observed, and because we are part of nature, they observe that from nature, for example, with the 5 elements are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So if we are looking, they looked at trees, for example, and this a tree you have there has the characteristics of the wood element. Then we have fire with its characteristics. It's in health. Also very important. Then we have the earth, metal, and water. So all of this will be translated with the flow of qi through these 5 phases will be translated in terms of balance in the body. And how is that? So very important. Also here we want a smooth flow of qi. We want a balanced transition from one element to the other. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, if you can help me, Esther, with the next one. I think here is stuck a bit. My
let me handle the mouse.
okay. Mine. Okay. Yeah. So we have physical correlation of these elements, something very tangible from maybe something abstract and intangible. So we have physical correlation. For example, the wood element. The wood element in our bodies is correlated with sinews. So, for example, if somebody has a problem, let's say with sinews, then we have we go to the wood element. Okay, in the path chart, in the lifestyle, according to their emotions, but we have something. They are direct correlations. Wood, for example, if we have problems with the blood vessels, they are linked directly with the fire element. Also, the earth element, or the earth phase, is linked with the muscles. So maybe we have a problem not gaining enough muscle when we go to the gym, then there's an earth problem. Again, another direct connection, metal element is related to skin. So skin problems, skin issues are related. We go and analyze as a whole the metal element. And water element is linked to bones. So these are direct correlations and translation of elements. And this is just one example because they have multiple correlations in our body. So just one correlation between how elements are seen in our body. And here, this is to represent this image to understand the complexity of the human being. And why is that? First, again, the accent is on a smooth and balanced flow qi through all the phases, and each element, it has functions on the physical, mental, and emotional. So, for example, let's say the wood element. The wood element on the physical part, we saw that it was connected with sinews. But on the mental part, for example, it's linked with perspective, with vision. On the emotional part is linked with hope and optimism, and other emotions like anger, frustration. So if we have a physical problem, Chinese medicine understands that we need to look, okay, at the physical, where is the symptom, but also at the mental part, at the emotional part. And this is just one part because also we are taking into consideration other factors, and you'll see later on. So we have one problem, but we see the person, not just the symptom, like in Western medicine. We see the wholeness. So we ask a person not only about, okay, your liver has problems, but also we ask a question about their mental part and also about their emotions. So we understood, probably many of you know, but to be more clear, the 3 concepts of holistic healing. Yes, Esther, if you can help me, yeah, with the next one. Thank you. So the three concepts that are at the base of Chinese medicine, and they are found everywhere in Chinese metaphysics, are first, the existence of qi, of energy in general in our body, and the importance to have a smooth quality free flow of energy through our organs, emotions, and mental processes. The existence of yin and yang polarization of energy, and they translate in health with real association and real terms, and they are used in terms of diagnosing a problem. And the five elements. Sorry, the third one, third theory is the 5 elements, and again, and they go more. This theory helps us to go more in depth in the person, to go into the not only the physical, the mental and emotional part. So we want the overall end goal is to have a balanced yin and yang energy in our body, and more in depth, a smooth transition and balanced 5 phases in our body. Because by this association and translation of a person's symptoms and lifestyle and habits, because everything can be translated through these 3 theories: lifestyle, habits, thoughts, emotions. This Chinese medicine has a 3-layered lens, and we can have a very accurate image of the degree of balance in the person's body and life. I think this was sum ups everything, all the 3 theories shortly. Let's see, Esther, how they act in parts.
Okay, so what Aureliana has actually described earlier on is the angle of Chinese medicine, the approach of it as a holistic method. As you can see, it's a flow, it's a yin and yang, cover both sides, internal and external, and also the 5 elements. So basically, Chinese medicine does translate to a holistic approach, right? Same goes to 八字, by the way. Yeah. So if you're here to identify or understand why 八字 is referred as a more holistic tool for a treatment in health, well, here's the answer. Okay. So first, everything is qi, right? Everything is qi as far as we all know in the concept of metaphysics, right? So now, if we move on to see our 八字 chart, it's basically a container of qi, right? So this qi itself, they come from where? They come from the stems and branches, okay? So what you see now is just alphabets, right? What you see now is just alphabets, but actually within these elements, as just now was also shared by Aureliana, they contain this thing called the qi flow, okay? Hence, whenever 八字 inside have the element as well, they describe the same qi flow characteristics, okay? Therefore, our 八字 chart itself contains the qi. And how do we translate that to health? Okay, how do we translate that to health? So basically, qi flow impacts our overall functionality, yeah, as a person. Okay, because as you can see, every element represents important parts of the body. Without the representation of it, there is no overall function in our body. All right. So the qi flow in our 八字 chart, okay, describes what? Our function, how well our capacity itself, okay, and therefore we show ourselves, right? And this itself, it's known as today the DNA. Okay, so I always like to say at the end of the day, right? The 八字 chart is actually the unique part of us, which is the DNA. Just like how our 八字 is very, very unique to us, right? Hence, same goes to our DNA. But what does this tell, right? It only tells us one thing, yeah, by the way. Yeah, it tells us that analyzing the 八字 chart, okay, determines the health risk by constitution, meaning to say your natural risk, your personal risk. And today, by the way, as we are speaking, it's quite popular to do this kind of DNA tests, right? It's the same. By the way, what they're assessing is actually the health risk, the constitutional, means the foundation, means by nature, where is it not great in your body? Okay, so whenever you start checking your Bazi chart as a form of analysis, be mindful you are checking your personal risk. Yeah, your personal risk. It's not forever, it's a personal risk, it's not a guarantee. Remember that. It's one thing very important whenever people start to identify health-related problems. And why is it an important diagnosis? Okay, today, identifying personal health risk is extremely important on top of period 9 problems, right? So why? Early detection and prevention is one of the life savior, right? Which then leads to what? Even by understanding personal health risk, we can actually expedite or improve our treatment because it's very, very personalized. Again, everybody's Bazi is very unique. How am I going to help you solve your health problem? Could be very different with another person who has perhaps the same health problem. Okay, so it's a very personalized treatment. It can help you in that, right? The next one is, of course, by understanding your personal health risk, right? You can make much more choice, informed choice and clarity. What does it mean? Your priority may not be the same as the person next to you. Okay, so that person is taking, example, more care on their limbs, example. That may not be your priority. Yeah, right? Because you have now better clarity and better goal treatments or better aim, health aim, health goals, because your Bazi chart is entirely different. Okay, so now financial and cost savings help you save a lot of money in a way. Yeah, because if you start identifying what's your health risk, you manage your health or your lifestyle since young, you make better and informed choices. You basically save yourself a lot of financial savings. Okay, right? The next one is, of course, you improve your overall well-being. Overall means what? Not just your physical, but your mental and your emotional side as well. Yeah. So now, before I go into the Bazi side, deep into Bazi side, right? I want to debunk this myth. Okay, I want to really take this opportunity, right, to debunk this myth. Okay, so most people actually think that the elements are organs. Yeah, where we typically know that the elements are the physical structure of the body, like the heart, right? But here I'm trying to tell you, no, it doesn't make sense. Okay, right? Okay, it doesn't make sense. Elements is not the organ. Okay, because why? People will start asking me, hey, I read that the wood element represent the liver. I don't have wood in my Bazi chart. Does that mean I don't have a liver? Hey, bro, no, okay, friends, no, okay, you have a liver, all right? So what does it tell you? It's nothing to do with organs. And please do not relate. Whenever we start to see elements, we immediately say it's disease. No, again, disease is something that is triggered from certain things. Okay, so we cannot, there is no like formula for this. No, right? There's no, so every time we say, oh, you got this, means you got this. No, don't. Because this actually create a lot of problem because people get extremely scared. Oh my God, I'm going to get cancer, I'm going to die. You know, this kind of problem, right? Oh, when I see this means I'm going to die, I got cancer. Oh, no. Okay, it doesn't mean that way, all right? Please do not think that way, okay? What it is, by the way, guys, you have all your organs. Unless you are born in certain conditions. Yeah, but Bazi chart, if you have a missing element, you still have the organs, okay? What it does tell us is that the elements represents the energetic organs, okay? The energetic organs, all right? So that's how we actually call it, yeah, by the way. That's why we always say the elements are associated with the organs. The elements are not the organs, right? So they are called energetic organs, okay? They are not physical organs, right? So what does energetic organ actually mean? It actually is just a description, all right, of the chi, how the chi flows. That's it, the function of the chi. So I like to use the word functionality, right? It tells us how well that function is. Okay, how well is this? Okay, so example, let's say, let me think. Since we are talking about liver, right? Okay, so the wood element, right? So the wood element example, the liver. Okay, the energetic organ of liver is responsible in what? Transportation, right? And these are something that you will learn in the health course, right? Liver is responsible for, I would say, regulating the flow. So I like to think that the liver is transporting is the car, you know. So they regulate the flow, the blood flow, anything that flows in the body. That's why the wood element, the liver, also represents flexibility. Yeah. So now when that is what it means, the energetic organ. So the liver represents the regulation of qi flow. Okay. Another example, since we talk about stomach, okay, say spleen. Okay, spleen, energetic organ. Okay, what does it mean? It means the type of qi we're talking about has to do with digestion. Yeah, so digestion not just food, but processing. I wouldn't say digestion. I would say spleen is more of a processor. You know, it's a processor, right? They process things in your body. Okay, so your body needs some process, by the way. Example, now I'm telling you information, you need to process it, right? So whether your spleen is functioning fine or not depends on how your processor is actually working. So it represents your spleen. So that is the energetic organ, yeah, right? So it's not, oh, my spleen got problem. Okay. Sometimes, by the way, it works that way because some people, they do have fatty liver. Okay. Their fatty liver actually is a real problem. Fatty liver is a period 8 problem, just so you know. Okay. But sometimes it reflects that way. But what I'm saying is we cannot direct correlate. Big myth to actually debunk, right? So this is one thing. Okay. So now in a traditional analysis, it was much more direct. Yeah. Analyzing parts chart in a traditional way is much easier. Why? Because life isn't that complicated back then. The food are all natural. Okay, you have limited jobs. Okay, the job is come and go is almost the same thing, right? So the variables are lesser. Okay, so back then analysis is always much more easy. Yeah, easier and more simple, right? More direct. So example, the more traditional way of saying that, oh, wood element problem, liver and gallbladder energy got problems. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is called traditional analysis, right? Very direct way. Okay, but nowadays are very different. Nowadays are very different. Why? Today, 21st century, right? Things are a bit more complex because we begin to have more and more awareness. Again, evolving of environment, the change, right? It makes us think more. So 八字 chart itself, the qi. Now, we are living in an environment. We resonate with the environment. So how our 八字 chart respond and evolve also change. It's not so simple as, yeah, you got liver and gallbladder problem. You know, it's not anymore. Okay. So now we are, because of our awareness, environment change and things like that, it gets a bit more complex, right? Like just now what Aureliana has showed, right? The health itself is damn very complex, right? So coming to 21st century, because of the environmental factors, things are even more complex. Okay. So now the whole 八字 chart itself, okay, there will be such thing as how you think. You can actually analyze it because how you think itself will impact your health. Are you a positive thinker? An overly optimistic thinker? You happy all the time? Yeah, how you feel? Are you sad all the time? Are you angry all the time? Are you depressed all the time? Even depressed also got many different styles of depression. Are you anxiety, having panic attack? Panic attack also got many types of panic attack. So things becomes a bit more complex. Yeah, things become a bit more complex because in reality, things are more complex now, right? So in a 八字 chart, we can make much more defined and specific answers to find like, hey, what type of depression are you more prone to? What is the trigger point? Thinking negative means what? Negative what? What's the triggering point? Okay, so things gonna be more and more specific. If we look at the parcel chart, we can identify that. And next parcel chart in the health analysis we need to look at nowadays is how we make choices. Meaning to say, based on our personality, what kind of self-sabotaging choices you are actually making for yourself. Okay, so that we can use it as a form of health analysis as well, because that will relate to what lifestyle you're actually doing for yourself. Okay, so that will lead to potential health problems. All right, so basically, if we look into parcel analysis in health diagnosis, let me get it straight. Diagnosis, not treatment, diagnosis, because parcel as a form of treatment and solution is different. Now we're talking just diagnosis. Yeah, first, elemental diagnosis. Check your balance. Yeah. Second, mental and emotional management. If it happens, how it happens, why it happens, can you manage it? If you manage it, got backfire? Okay, next. And this point 2, if you want to know, we look at the essential relationships. Yeah. Next one is what? Leading lifestyle choices. That we look at your personality, what kind of things you usually will go to. Yeah. So very common one is you look at the 10 gods, meaning I look at your chart, got earth problem, stomach problem. Wow, bloody hell, you're eating god chart. Wow, your wood element is extremely big. Confirm got gout. Confirm. I don't know, see it. You see how the layers come in. Because you're greedy, so you eat all the time. Every time one seafood, then you get gout. Okay, example. Okay, so this is just one way of seeing. Yeah, this is just one way of seeing. But as you can see, it goes layer and layer and layer, because again, the complexity gets more as we are, in a very complex world. Okay, but I very simplistically can put these three steps, right, that you can use parcel for in diagnosing health, right? Of course, on top of that, your luck pillar. Luck pillar is another person, okay? It's another person, all right? So now, okay, so now let me get to this. Okay, so at the end, right, why Chinese metaphysics and Chinese medicine? Because again, it speaks the same currency, right? So now let me get Aureliana to introduce this concept. Okay, because she likes she.
Yeah. For example, I want to start why it convinced me, because I try many systems, for example, Reiki or yoga. And when I reached acupuncture, that is part of Chinese medicine, and Chinese medicine part of the arts of the 5 arts of Chinese metaphysics, it brought so much in-depth knowledge. So the Chinese metaphysics is comprised of 5 different arts, and every art has multiple layers. For example, we have the Feng Shui, the Pats, Qigong, acupuncture, phytotherapy, Tuina, or face reading, and I haven't said them all. They all use the same currency, and that is they use the term of Qi. They all use the 3 theories we have discussed, the Qi, the yin and yang, and the 5 elements. And they all are meant to discover imbalances at all levels, and then very practical solutions to achieve balance, because that's also a term used in all of the 5 arts of Chinese medicine, balance. And why is so important to speak the same language and to incorporate these 3 main theories? Because we can go in depth in not only the person and the human being as a whole, on all levels, on physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and we can understand the person as a whole, and then we can understand also the history of the person, the environment where he grew up, and we can understand the energy of the surroundings, and what can the person do as in terms of choices in order to have a healthy life. And healthy probably is now more clearer that healthy in Chinese medicine is not just on physical plane. The physical plane is the last where you see results. First, you have the mental, emotional, and there the results are not tangible. You cannot put a finger, but you feel them. They are intangible. So this is the system that convinced me, and that's why I switched my career, and I'm using Chinese medicine, because you can understand the reality of a person with all these tools and the tools that Chinese medicine offers. So the measurement of health problem is based on the chi flow. So this is the overall picture you want to have in your mind. You see this ball of chi. We don't want to be, that's an imbalance. That's what an imbalance looks like. That's a poor chi flow. So we want to have, as I said, a good chi flow, and that means a free, smooth, quality flow of chi in our lives. And that is how in our bodies, through our being stable mentally, having emotions from all range, but not to be overwhelmed by anxiety, by panic attacks. And we sometimes, for example, we can have obstruction when is the poor chi flow. We can have, for example, deficiency, not enough of the right kind of chi getting to the part of the body that needs it, or we can have a blockage of chi, so we have maybe enough energy but it's blocked and it cannot flow, okay? Or maybe you can have an overflow of chi, that is an excess of energy. You can have too much of a good thing or a bad thing. Either will create excess that create problems in our body, our emotions, our thoughts. So the overall picture you want to have is a good chi flow. So we don't want something tangled. We want to have a clear, smooth path of the chi. And so where do we get the chi flow in Chinese medicine? And it's really interesting that Chinese medicine says that we have an inherent chi in our body, a reserve, like a battery in our body, and we are replenishing our chi through the air we breathe and from the food and drinks we eat and drink. So it's very, very important, the air and the food, that determines the quality of the chi. And in terms of, and these we can link with elements, and very important to have a smooth flowing of chi as the connection with first ourselves and then with other people. So connection with, as I say, ourselves and other people. Physical movement, because we have seen from period 8 that sedentarism was a problem and obesity. So we need physical movement because we can move our chi. And also very important to have activities of self-care, of resting, sleeping enough, of taking care of ourselves to balance our chi. And then we can go in depth more in the yin yang part and the 5 elements. So very important to have the smooth flow of energy through activities in our life. So how do we see this in a path chart? For example, elements when we see elements in a path chart, they will tell us something. For example, this chart has a weak wood and metal, so elements will affect the chi flow. So very important. You have stamped on your brain chi flow. Also, interactions between the earthly branches will affect the chi flow. And what do we want? We want a balanced and steady chi flow. So the chi flow defines the natural constitution of our inner chi. So when we have the path chart, it tells us our energetic structure. And it's very important to know, first of all, okay, everyone has the same organs, but how am I energetic? How is my energetic structure different, for example, from Esther's? How we are different here in terms of our elements, because they will predispose to certain imbalances. And we will add also the emotional part and the lifestyle conditioning. So very important, the chi flow. So we don't want an obstruct chi flow. We don't want overwhelm. So we don't want a deficiency or an excess or a blockage. We want a free flow, because this free flow of energy, if there are obstructions or overflowing, will affect energetically organ functions. As Esther explained, the organs, we don't see them in terms as physical organs. They have also functions, other functions in the physical body, and they have functions on the mental and emotional. And for example, if we are comparing, let's say, the chi flow with the water running in pipe, we want to have a steady flow of water, not too little or too much, because it will affect all of our internal layers. and that is the mental part, the emotional. For example, we can affect the physical part, gaining weight, backache, palpitations, or the mental part, let's say foggy mind, poor concentration, or the emotional part, feeling anxiety, depression, or the last part, the spiritual part, not being fulfilled with what I'm doing, not able to think, to enjoy life. So this the flow of chi will translate in, I said, these 4 layers, and then it will translate from the interior, from the intangible, to really exterior, to the tangible, to activities. So they will affect this flow of chi, will affect the relationship with myself, with others. For example, concentrating at work, the ability to have fun, the ability to concentrate at work, maybe our again ability to start a gig, a new business, to learn something new. It will lead us to become more to a more imbalanced body and overall feeling of well-being, and it will lead to diseases. But disease is the last layer, because what health means in the end, health as a concept in Chinese medicine is a combination. Yes, thank you, Esther. So we need to have a change in perspective and the sense of responsibility for our well-being and health, because health in the end is a combination of chi problems. So combination, and it comes from our energetic structure, that is the astrological chart, the Patsu, and we know that, is linked with time, because we'll know what energy will come and affect us in time. Also, the other part of the combination is the environment we grew up, the culture we grew up, the energy we have in our house, and the energy around our house, very, very important. And another key part, the third one of the combination, is what is my lifestyle? What do I eat? How do I eat? So it matters, because Chinese medicine for about 3,000 years tell us not necessarily what to eat, but the importance of how, when, according to our natural rhythms. So the health issues now translated into period 9, and they not also, it's a combination of chi problems. And this is what we are doing in our course. We are debunking all of this. We are bringing understanding of the how chi imbalances, they combine and produce a physical problem. And not also. So what Chinese medicine brings is understanding of this all imbalances of a person on all planes. So from the energetic structure, weaknesses and strengths, to the environment, integrates all of this information, and what it guides us is towards balance, because balance is the key word that is is crucial, I can say, for the next period to sustain health. We want to bring balance in every aspect of our being. So every tool of Chinese metaphysics and of Chinese medicine brings balance. So the keyword balance, and is very good, the image, because balance in all layers will that defines healthy. Let's see.
Yeah. So now I think Aureliana has explained entirely, which we want to conclude really, is that health issues are not just because of your Patsu chart. It's the environment and also the choices that you make, right? The air that you breathe, the food that you take, the rest that you take, etc., right? So overall, right, that's why we are bringing this and sharing with you all this, yeah. So and healing with the metaphysics has really it has a whole set of comprehensive tools, right? When being used together as a system, yeah, used together as a system to help us transform our health holistically. And this is a few cases, yeah, which I really want to share very quickly. Real life example, right, to show that this holistic method actually works, right? So what it is, yeah, so this is a real, well, this is not her face, right? But this is a real case, okay, or her name is Maria, and she's very young, right? She came to the treatment, all right, for migraines, yeah, physical pain, migraines, and suffers from PMS, okay, premenstrual syndrome, you know, like the woman stuff, right? So what happened is after working with us, her migraines actually reduced and she no longer suffers from PMS. Okay, that's amazing. The next part is that we also analyzed the relationship part, okay, that she tends to dominate the relationship with her partner. And after working with us, she also improved her communication. So she basically not just the physical side, but in terms of her emotional side as well, right? So we also analyzed another emotional issue that she got is that she tends to neglect her personal care. She doesn't take care of herself, basically, right? So after working with us, she become more she prioritized her self-care even more. Okay, and this is the basically the mental aspect of things, yeah, the mental aspect of things. Okay, so these are basically the mental aspect of things. If you notice also one thing that she also have this perspective, like this is very rigid, yeah, right, and find it very difficult to consider alternative approaches, my way or the highway kind of person. Now, after working together to recover and heal, she become more adaptable to task and are open to more differences in terms of ideas. The next one is that she has a very strained relationships with her father. So relationship issues basically, which is very her kind of problem, right? And after working with us, all right, she actually become better in terms of relationship as well. So if you notice one thing, it's really coverage of all, whereby you look at the improvement in terms of her physical symptoms, yeah, her mental part, and her emotional side, if you notice. So it's actually looking at, so it doesn't, why is this important? So that relapse won't happen. Because when you're actually recovering in terms of the physical pain, yeah, the inner side is actually doing the job. Okay, so you can see very clear 3 layer of recovery. So why I'm highlighting this, because many people always say that, hey, I only have a leg pain, my leg is hurting, right? What's it going to do with my emotions? Well, it does. Okay, so in a way, if you heal one end, you will always trigger the physical as well, right? And this is one of the evidence, okay, and basically improve her PMS and relationships in general, right? Of course, she has a part-2 child, which I'm not going to show, but that aside, okay? So this is also another issue. Emma, her name, is 35 years old. She came experiencing like stomach problems, okay, bloatingness, right? After working together, she no longer suffers from bloatingness. So she basically she has the issue of every time after she have a meal, she will bloat. Okay, it's a very common problem. I used to be like that as well, but I'm not as serious, right? What happened is also at work, she's always anxious. Yeah, at work, she's always anxious and she's gonna perform well, right? Right after that, she become more aware of her repressed emotions and anxiety, right? Besides that, okay, now she also have very low self-esteem. So again, we are talking about the physical and the mental part, and then now the emotion, feeling low self-esteem. So after that, she are able to recognize her abilities. Yeah. So basically, if you look at this chart in one glance, this situation is a very earthy problem scenario, earth problem. Okay, just to give you guys a bit of benchmark, looks like a very earth problem. Okay, so now she also have difficulty in establishing healthy boundaries. Yeah, because she please too much, people pleaser. Okay, so that itself also make her feel like she's always in conflict with herself, right? Now after that, okay, she's able to develop healthy boundaries towards with other people, saying, you know, being honest to herself, saying no when she actually really meant no. Okay, not being pushed around, right? And again, she suffers from emotional and binge eating at night. Now she stopped emotionally eating. Yeah, and it's a very common thing for anxiety problem. Yeah, whenever you start getting anxiety issues, you crave for sweet stuff. Yeah, and usually like at night you tend to want to eat something just to make you calm yourself down because it's an anxiety. Yeah, so this emotional eating, that's why I said this is a very early problem scenario. Okay, but as you can see again, right, it's physical, mental, and emotion. We are not just looking at, but she came in because of her bloatingness. She came in because of the bloatingness, yeah, but it's everything basically. Okay, and why is that so? I do want to highlight this is because people do take for granted how they feel, right? Right. And the reason why I bring this up, right? Because the mental and the emotional side, it's gonna be even more highlighted coming to period 9. If we don't actually acknowledge it, right, it will escalate even worse. That is why besides all those, like, why is it more relevant now? All this while, the system has always been like that. It's always health, physical, mental, and emotion. But why now? Why now more relevant? Because period 9. So with the influence of the energy itself, it will expedite the situation even more. Okay, it will resurface everything that was not recognized back then. Okay, so it's extremely relevant at this point in time. Yeah, and we are just at the beginning of the time. Okay, so now what I'm saying is this, yeah, this whole system itself, I would just say this whole system itself is able to fill up the gap of health issues in period 9. Okay, why is that so? It's able to treat the root cause, 1. 2, okay, so root cause means what? Reduce in terms of relapse and pain, long-term treatment goal. Easy, accessible, and cheap. You do not need extremely high advanced manufacturing machine, bottom line is. All you need is yourself and effort and time, okay? Number 3, self-healing, okay? You are relying on your own immunity to build your strength. You don't need to pay for that, right? And you basically stop the dependency of drugs, okay? The next one is what? Okay, it covers all the mind, emotion, and body. It's not just the physical pain, right? The next one is what? Okay, it's more personalized to individual, making things more efficient, I would say, and making things, I wouldn't say making things more efficient, like how the drug will solve your problem, but in a way, it gives you more clarity with the overwhelming of information, right? You don't need to trial and error. You see what other people do, it doesn't work for you. One very good example is weight loss, just so you know, okay? Many people have difficulty in losing weight. Of course, that's the case because everybody's reason why they put on weight or unable to lose weight is very personalized to their health, their scenario, their lifestyle, or maybe their constitutional chart, their natal chart, their 八字 itself. So different strategy for different people. Example for me, I don't need to cut food down. I just need to sleep more in order to lose weight. Okay, that's my problem. All right, so I have no issue in metabolism in that case. Okay, I just need to sleep more, basically, right? That itself will help me to lose weight, right? So it may not work for everybody else. Okay, some people work better with fasting, example. Okay, so different people has different methods, very personalized to increase the efficiency so you don't trial and error, right? So these are basically the solutions of it. And then again, right, it brings us back, okay, to the very first idea what health is. And we are just literally revisiting the concept of health, guys. I know it may sound very lame, but it's the truth. Okay, so health, it is a complete state of physical, mental, and emotion. We all know that, but we don't actually know that at the same time. Okay, so this is it, right? So, and it coincides entirely, right? It really coincides with what the Qi health system actually means. The art of metaphysics has a set of comprehensive tools that we can use together, right? So whenever we talk about treating the bodily function, we talk about treating the thoughts, we talk about treating the feelings, okay? So at this point in time, guys, what I'm really suggesting to everyone here, those who are still here with me, right, to be aware of these changes. And that's the whole point of the webinar, just so you know, okay? I'm not reading you guys technical stuff, right? Because there's no point knowing it if you don't know how to use it. Okay, technical stuff, you can just download the ebook. Okay, we have a very comprehensive ebook. Okay, so the idea is this, right? Mindset adaptation, right? We need to adjust the mindset. Okay, we need to adjust the mindset, right? So no matter what now, as we are moving forward, right, it is really about how we are able to make the right choice of the well-being, of our well-being. I just had a conversation with a friend today, right? He was telling me he was extremely stressful. Okay, I think you're here. Okay, and at the end of the day, you don't do anything at all when you have like 10 things to do today, but you didn't do anything. Why? You never pace yourself out, bro. Okay, so that's why you overly stress. At the end of the day, you produce nothing out. And this is simple thing just called stress. Overwhelm. Okay, and you think this is serious? Oh, it's gonna get worse because you're gonna get more pressured by the environment. Okay, so if you're always on a hustle bustle concept like how it used to be, you're gonna suffer. Honestly, I'm not asking everyone to not hustle. By the way, you have to hustle, but we got to use the tools correctly today. Whatever that is available today, we got to learn how to use it better, right? We're gonna make better choices with what we have, basically, right? It's no longer just follow back period 8. No more. By the way, artificial intelligence is here to help us to make speed happen very fast. Right, so certain things you want to use that. Same goes to health concept. Okay, what is available today, able to help us to make better choice and right choices before it's too late. Because one thing about health, you only got one. You only got one. It's unlike your job, you got choices. You lose one job, you get another. Yeah, you lose a business, you set up another. Yeah, but health is something. You lose it, you get a scar. I can tell you that because I experienced it. Aureliana experienced it. Okay, because we took for granted, I think for our case, because we were young, okay, and we never thought that way, right? So it's very, very, very important. I cannot stress this enough. So today, for those who follow me in social media, right, you know, I have a very strict routine in my life. Very, very strict routine. I don't reply messages until a certain time. I wake up at a certain time. I do a certain things. But all my to-do is actually very fundamentally 5 elements. Very, very fundamentally 5 elements. Okay, and surprisingly, that helped me so much. And I was also like, wow, you know, I make more money. I'm happy with what I do. Like that. More stress, yes, more stress, but I can manage. More stress than last time, yes, I can manage. I fall lesser hair. Last time I used to have a bald in my head, you know, that bad. Okay, so basically now what we want is called adapting to time. We need to change the way how we are managing it. So how we are managing, what is the adaptation that we need to have is this. Health is just beyond physical pain. Do not evaluate that, because guys, as you can see from the statistics, we are just at the very beginning of period 9. And there's a lot more intangible things. The moment it hits, it will be fast. Okay, so what we are trying to create here is for you to even now you know this information, you're not coming to us as a client, you're not coming to sign up this course. Do something about your lifestyle. Like, I swear, do something about it. It's hard, I know, I've been there, done that many times, okay, right? But at least try to work it out. Okay, try to work it out, right? So the very, very, very first thing that you need to do is have this shift. And you can see, and now we are the last year of period 8, you can see the moment you change this, within 3 to 6 months, you will see growth. Not, maybe you don't see growth in your health because you don't have a disease like a heart disease, but you can see growth in your life. You can see growth in your relationship. You can see growth in your wealth. You can see growth in yourself. You're not so bad-tempered anymore. I have that issue, right? So that's the first thing. Only 3 to 6 months, you just do that. I guarantee you. I've done that, been that. done that. I've experimented it and I've changed entirely, you know? So this is the mindset that I really, really want to convince you guys. I know I'm repeating it, but it's the truth, okay? So only those who will listen, otherwise it's fine, okay? So now, health is beyond that, right? So health is also when you are feeling stressed and frustrated all the time. Health is also when you are, whatever you're feeling, whatever your body is feeling, whatever you're thinking is affecting you at work, all right? And whatever you're feeling, the challenges, finding joy is very difficult at work. It's also a health problem, yeah? Or you feel like you have no control out of it. It's also a problem, okay? And you're fearful, fear is a real problem, by the way. You feel like you got no control of your health because, very good example, I was anxious about this webinar last night. I couldn't sleep. I can't control. Real thing. Okay, but I can take it up. It's just one night. You know, it's fine. But the feeling of like, I'm losing it. But imagine this, it is a collective feeling. You're losing it all the time. You don't want to lose temper, but you cannot take it. You don't want to fall ill. You don't want to have a sore throat every now and then, but you can't. I felt that way earlier this year. My sore throat was bad. I keep coming. And then after that, the last case, I got COVID. Okay, right? And that I stopped entirely. I have to recover back. Okay, but that is when you like, I want to do it, but I can't. That's the worst feeling ever. Okay, so having the power to actually be in control back, right? So these are all actually part of health problems, okay? And why are we sharing you this? Why are we sharing? So this is just a little bit personal take, right, of me and Aureliana. Exactly 6 years back, I was, I'm not sure, do I still look like me? I lost a lot of weight now because back then, I don't know why, my face was so bloated. And we are showing you all this. I'm bringing this up really because we've been there. Okay, we've been there. I don't know, right? And then this is me, myself, okay, 6 years ago, right? I was working in a pharma company. I wasn't happy, but you see me smiling like normal, right? Because it was my client there, so I need to smile, right? I was tired all the time. I only slept for 2 to 3 hours every day for almost a year because it was extremely stressful. There was a lot of problem that year. I was having issues with my marriage back then. I never knew I was really sick. Back then, I have a whole box of Panadol with me all the freaking time. Every day I would take, every day. It's like my vitamin. It's bad, by the way. It's really, really, really bad. And I ignored about it because you know why? You're so busy. I was doing international business. Just take it, take it. Never mind, can go later. Procrastinate. The moment it stopped, I have attacked. My health problem kicked in. The same year itself, I called everything quit. I literally killed everything. I left my job. I left the marriage. I had to start from bottom because I couldn't take it. Like bad. I 1 year gap year. More than 1 year, I think. I was traveling all over. Take time to heal. And that cost me a lot of money, by the way. It cost me a lot of money, okay? Yeah, and it was bad, okay? So I don't think it's easy to go through. Even now I'm speaking about it, I feel so emotional because it was not easy. Okay, so that's when I also started therapy, and I started alternative healing. Okay, so that's when everything started. And Aureliana have a very different experience. I think she was working in a pharmacy. This is her 6 years ago, right? And I think you were very upset because you were asked to become a salesman, right? So Aureliana is obviously not a salesman. I'm a salesman.
I'm not a salesman. I really got really frustrated because I didn't feel the fulfillment in my profession because in the end I had target and I had to sell. That was the concept. I had to sell medicines, unfortunately, and supplements. Not so much on the conciliation of the patient, the counseling. I was feeling anxiety on a regular basis. I had problems connecting with my friends in general. I started to have, when I was working in pharmacy, I started to have regular gallbladder seizures, and it didn't go away with with pills, and I had the access to pills, I had to go to the hospital and to have IV to go away. Yes, and that is when you see my smiley face there, because it was like 6 years. With 1.5 years or 2 years starting to go to. I discovered acupuncture, and that is why the gallbladder seizures made me to look something else, to alternative healing. And when I reached acupuncture, and I just fell in love with it and the whole system.
Yeah. For me, I started from meditation and yoga. That's where my thing happened, and I incorporate it together with Fazi, do it together. And after that, myself and Aureliana, we met. We got into this, we were together. We are using Chinese medicine, acupuncture together. I do my own acupuncture for myself and stuff like that. I get points from Aureliana to do it. So this is how we actually combine our treatments. And you may see like, hey, how come she's there? I'm here. Well, basically traveling, we meet, and stuff like that. We do the same things, and that's how we get together, right? So we totally can experience this. We understand the difficulties. And that is why, again, guys, I want to emphasize that the greatest wealth is health. Always, always. Okay. And just like wealth, by the way, it's not given. You need to work for it. Right? You need to really, really you need to really, really work for it. Yeah, it's not given. Please, don't think you're young means you have everything. I was young. I had a freaking growth in my womb when I was 20 plus. Okay. Don't tell me age is not a problem. I think you have cholesterol when you were younger, right? You have cholesterol, right? What the hell? That's funny.
Yes, I did. Yeah, and also I had the high cholesterol because of the frustration I was feeling.
Yeah. So that's a bit, but age is not really a thing, right? And because of what we have been through, hence we do this thing. We are launching this program. As you know, this is a preview session, okay? So what we have here for you guys, if you're keen, okay, you can continue on to watch, right? We are offering really total full support. That is the first time we are doing it as a group. And of course, we understand you need to have a lot of compassion to yourself. It does take a lot of coming out from your comfort zone. It does tickle your ego in many ways. Yeah, it does, because sometimes how we feel, how we think, we never know that we are actually like that. Of course, through the process as well, we are going to provide a lot of guidance. Very, very important to have that. Of course, knowledge and solutions. This is where the pragmatic me will come out. Everything step by step. So this is what we're going to offer, by the way, right? This is what we're going to offer. And if you're keen, okay, we can help you kickstart this whole thing. This whole thing, a holistic transformation, right? And we are not targeting just physical, but we're going to challenge your mental and emotion as well. Okay, so with that being said, again, one of the goals of our program, if you're interested, okay, just stay on with me, right? Goals: physical, strong, pain-free. That's the aim. If you're having certain disease, by the way, it does take time, It does take time. Okay, but what we're aiming for, of course, if you're some healthy adult, or you have, common, I have backache. I used to have backache last time, now totally no more. Okay, and I fell from my headstand like that, and okay, so now I'm free from that. But physical, we are looking for strong and pain-free. You're not going to feel the pain if you do have certain kind of pain, like menstrual pain, migraines, and things like that. Mental, what the goal is clarity. Why? We get very messy, okay, because there's so many things. We lose focus. Mental, okay. Also, the goal is to have flexibility. Why? Period 9, my friends. Fast. If you're not flexible, you're not fast, you're gonna lose out, and that creates more anxiety for you. That's a problem. All right. So it's not just about clarity, but you need to be flexible in your thoughts. Okay. So it's not just about good, bad. Well, guys, something deeper. Move fast, decision making. So basically, when it comes to flexibility, there's also like 5 layers of it because the 5 elements. Okay, so it's very important to have that. Emotional, peaceful, and happy. Why? What's the point, okay, of doing what we do every day if you're not happy with it? No point, I'm honest with this. I know it's hard to digest, right? I know people might say it's so easy. It's not. It's not. It takes years. And I think for me and Aureliana, the process is almost coming to 10 years of that journey, right? Almost coming to 10 years. Like, I can't believe we almost knew each other like 5 years, 6 years now. Yeah, around there, you know? So it's the journey is long and it's not easy. That's why, but this is our goal. Okay, this is our goal. There's so much only we can do, right? So how do we do it? We combine these 3 things together. Okay, right? 八字, my expertise, that area comes from me. Feng Shui as well. We're going to do alignment in environment. Okay, because this is what I do. I align my Feng Shui. Because I'm not an advocate for like wealth per se. By the way, I focus more on the well-being first in terms of Feng Shui. Because sustainability is the problem if you just go to wealth. That is my concept. Okay. Chinese medicine and alternative healing as well. So the program includes Chinese medicine and the lifestyle, the 5 lifestyle that we saw just now, the air that you breathe, the food that you take, etc., etc. So those are the components of how you can enhance the quality of qi with the 5 elements. On top of that, alternative healing is part of it as well. So there will be access to alternative healing sources, okay, which is coming from me because I'm certified in that. So now, guys, it is a 2 months health program, okay? So for those who are keen to stay on with me, 2 months program, right? I don't usually do 2 months. For those who know me, my course is just 3 days, 2 days and stuff like that. So basically, this is the first launch, right? And I think this is important to do 2 months. Why? Because to build a habit, you need more than 30 days, okay? Right? So there's a reason why I also think about, you know, how do I create sustainability for you guys, the students or the clients, okay? It takes time because we tried it before, we've done it before. At least, even for me, 21 days of habits doesn't work. I need 1 month. Even that, we always bounce back, right? So this is a 2 months health program curated to facilitate, guide, and support the whole process. The whole process. We have this thing called the live class, okay, right? And also we have the Feng Shui, and we have a 30-day challenge, and we have a weekly coaching call, right? It's going to start very soon. It has to be soon. Now, basically. Okay, so it's going to start next month, very quick. Okay, yeah, doesn't matter how, we're going to start next month, right? 19th of May, right? But this may not be for everyone. Okay, this may not be for everyone, right? I know because it takes commitment. So it's really not for everyone. So if it's not for you, it's okay. What you've picked up today and learned, right? Just apply it, find your own ways to deal with it, okay? Just remember next week we got another session. Oh, the 7th of May, we got another session. Just come back again. You will see another set of application there, right? But again, guys, for those who are here with me, if you're keen, this may not be for everyone, so I'm not asking everyone to do it, right? Just take it for your own. This is my honest opinion. But who is this mainly for? If you are looking into really dealing with your emotions, right? Mental and emotions, everything together, the 3 things, right? This may be for you. Hey, if you're just keen into physical, maybe it's not for you. Why? You need to be open-minded in this process. These are the one very important thing. Whenever me and Aureliana, we want to deal with coaching students, you have to be open. If we do not deal with an open-minded client, it's very, very hard to see growth, right? And we cannot force anyone. So at the end of the day, it's two sides, okay? So if you're ready for it, you're open for it, then maybe this for you, okay? If you really want to build a new habit, I would say this year could be it, okay? If you want to explore your inner emotions, if you know that something is always wrong, but I'm not sure, maybe this for you as well. Yeah, and I think this is very good as an additional tool for practitioners Chinese medicine practitioners, right? You may know the Chinese medicine side, but an added tool will be the Bazi side and the Feng Shui side, right? And acupuncturists as well, because this is a holistic method. And I would say that we are looking in the period 9. So this is a very good combination of tools. The next one is, of course, Chinese metaphysics practitioners. I would say this is be an added tool as well, right? Wellness coach, definitely. I would also encourage behavioral therapists, psychologists, and healer as well. Okay, but how will it be? Okay, there'll be a process. Okay, so the first one will be a 3-day Zoom class. The second one will be Feng Shui and alternative healing, right? The next one will be 4 times weekly coaching. 4 times, yeah, 4 times, right? The next one will be 30 days body, mind, and emotional challenge. My friends, these are commitment, okay, right? So of course, I would really encourage this process, and I know maybe not everybody will be in, because don't worry, they'll be replaced. But the best transformation happens when you're in it together, right? Because when you're in it, by the way, I'm also in it. Aureliana is also in it, okay? We are in this together, okay? And 30 days body, mind, emotional challenge. Okay, it's every day you need to show up, basically. So it'll be a daily emotional challenge, right? There'll be another set of it. So this is the whole package, basically, right? And yeah, these are basically what I do, by the way. What I do in my daily life, okay? What I really do in my daily life, okay? And it does take a lot of commitment, but that is why we are here to facilitate this journey, right? So at this point, if you're waiting for the price, there you go. Okay, so this is a holistic pack, this package. Okay, yeah, there are a few different packages because I understand it's not for everyone, right? It's total worth 2 months, 2 months, right? 688. If we do it in a 1-to-1 session, usually this kind of price. Okay, but again, it's our first time doing it, and I would really want more people to experience the change. This time round, you can save up to 70%. We're actually slashing the price down to only 388, a 2 months program. Okay, a 2 months program, right? So you can scan this code if you're interested, or perhaps click the link. I think Lau can put up the link in, right? So this will be it. Okay. Okay. So the next one. Okay, you can't commit that long. Is it okay? Right? Is it okay? Well, can you buy separately? The answer is yes, but no guarantee in terms of the because it's purely educational. Okay, so what we're looking at, okay, is package A, just package A, the Zoom class, right? 3-day Zoom class, 19th, 20th, 21st of May, 3 days. Yeah, so this one is more on education, Zoom class, basically. So we'll cover cases and stuff like that, normal, okay? So now, this one as well, you will get 299, okay? Basically as a package, but I honestly feel that don't bother about this package, okay? Don't bother, because if you just add up another $20 US, okay, you just upgrade yourself to get the whole package, right? Basically it's a package B itself, right? Is 4 days classes, 4 days classes, okay? The thing is, this Feng Shui and alternative healing class, it's not a sellable, it's not a selling separate course, right? So I don't reuse this, it's not for sale, right? So it's just very specific for this course itself. So it doesn't really have a fixed value to it. So just giving out for $20 US. So my take is, if you really just want to skip the coaching, just take this. Just take this, okay? And this itself, just add up $20 US from 299, 319, right? And this itself, okay, is the package. So you can pick either C or B, right? C or B, okay? And I can tell you guys, if really want to see in terms of value, just take C, okay? But I need you guys to play along, okay? We need to play along. So we have if you're in the package C, we would have a journey together for 2 months. Okay, for 2 months. Yeah. Will it be recorded? Yes, it will be recorded. Okay, so this one would have a 2 plus 1. So 2 plus 1 means is the 2 months recording is for the live class. Okay, and 1 month is for the coaching, and also for the 30 days challenge. So the 30 days challenge, you can repeat them again. But the difference is that nobody's going to keep you accountable if you don't attend live. Okay, so what I really like is that whenever we are there for the 30-day challenge, okay, basically somebody is giving accountability. Yeah, somebody's giving accountability. So it's like, okay, it's like a personal trainer. You better turn up, you know, that kind, right? So it's better in the journey. Okay, it's better in the journey. But if you're not into that, it's okay, right? The 1-day bonus class is on the 27th of May. Yeah, it's the 27th of May. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to check, so the 1-day bonus class, just so you know, if you want to know details of the alternative healing, it will be on breathwork, breathwork pranayama, and also we will include things like supplements as well, food and supplements as well. Yeah, so it's really like not just purely within the scope of metaphysics. We're going to bring in our own flair and expertise to it. So yeah, it's not within entirely scope, but it'll be feng shui and alternative healing. Just so you know, even for the 30 days challenge, we do have also a bit of sound healing component, okay, because it's part of the system. Okay, it's part of the system, it's vibration, right? So there'll be quite a lot of different things. Okay, there'll be quite a lot of different things. I cannot break it down now because next week I'm going to show you guys what's more into it, right? Because it's really a lot, guys. So this is a whole package purely curated for you guys who are really keen to walk on this journey with us. Okay, so just to very quickly show you the syllabus. Okay, so this is the syllabus for the whole lecture, not the coaching and the 30 days challenge. Metaphysics 1, and then we're going to talk about medicine and Chinese metaphysics, diagnosis. We're going to also include new topics such as psycho-emotional in health. Yeah, so period 9, new topic. So we're going to go deep into mind and emotions, deep, right? And how you relate it in Bazi and Chinese medicine, and how you'll be able to recognize the differences between psycho-emotional differences. Okay, 10 gods and essential relationships, right? And we're going to read it in perspective of health, right? Health in period 9 and its management. Okay, it's management, right? Oh, why got repeat one? Okay, and basically the last one is feng shui and alternative healing, right? So basically this the online one, package B, is mainly lectures. So the practice is going to happen for package C. So when we learn, we apply together. So a lot of facilitation during the journey. Okay, so guys, if you're keen, these are the 3 package. What are the timing for the 3 days live? The timing for the 3 days live, one is 8 p.m. Malaysian. Sorry, all of them are actually 8 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Right, all of them are actually 8 p.m. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Here, Esther, we have also the link from the event on Facebook. Wait, because it's also the time difference in Romania, Malaysia.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm referring to GMT 8 plus. Okay, so there's we usually do a Friday is a 8 p.m. class, and then Saturday, Sunday it's a 1 p.m. class, 1 p.m. time, GMT 8 plus. Okay, yeah, so I think it's stated here. Yeah, it's stated in the picture here. Sorry, it's a bit small, but
yes.
Yeah, it's stated here. Here you go. Okay. It may extend the timing, by the way. It depends on how far we actually do. the sessions, how much the time will take. Okay, so it will actually, so this is just a rough gauge of our timing. Yeah, so like now we also extend. Okay, so it really depends on our coverage. Okay, it really depends on our coverage. Okay, so this is the timing, right? So you can actually find more information. You can actually enroll now, right? Because these are the whole package. Yeah, and if you are considering, I honestly recommend you guys either package C or package B, either one. Yeah, package C or package B. Okay, so again, guys, the whole process is to facilitate, guide, and again, we want to hold you accountable for it. So we're gonna do it together. Okay, we're gonna have homework that is more on package C, yeah, weekly coaching, yeah, and also do the mind, body, and emotion challenge with us for 30 days straight. It's really interesting. I haven't done it before. I only done it for myself before. Many people really can't commit, but don't worry about it. It's not going to be a very, very like challenging and stuff like that. But when you do it together with the awareness, you will see great growth. Okay, and again, this is just the beginning of things. I find this extremely relevant. And if you guys know me, yeah, this is really the first time I put a course duration that long. Yeah, it's really cost that long. Okay, so I don't think at all the price is expensive for a 2-month course. Okay, yes. Okay, so guys, again, thank you very much for staying in. How long is the replay? The replay for class is 2 months. The replay for the challenge is 1 month. The replay for weekly coaching is 1 month. Yeah, 1 month. So and the duration starts the moment we put up the replay. Yeah, we put up the replay, right? But if possible, do it as soon as, because health is very different. Health management is very different with others. It has to be done. It has to be applied, because the thing is, like I said, awareness at the end of the day is just a form of awareness. It has to be done in like real action. Then you will see the impact of it. Yeah. And I can tell you, this is a very good investment. Very good investment. Yeah, I really think it's a very good investment. I think it's really extremely good price, and it's also because I really want you guys to experience it. And the moment you experience it, I tell you, it's going to be a different world. Okay, and all I need is 2 months from you. That's it. Okay, so guys, right? When weekly coaching, I haven't decided when yet, but it will start the moment we complete 4 days. Yeah, it will start the moment we complete the 4 days. So it will be on a weekday, Wednesday night. Night time is Malaysia time, so it can fit other part of the world as well. Yeah, other part of the world as well. So weekly coaching, we cover all bases. You can ask in questions. We're gonna bounce question, deal with cases, and coaching is very important for what dealing with current problems. That's why coaching is here. Yeah, so we're gonna discuss current issues. Okay, like real issues that we can solve immediately one. Okay, yeah. Alternative healing includes acupuncture. I think Aureliana have a method to do that, right?
Yes.
It's not needle, but yes, there will be acupuncture points that Aureliana will be able to help and to do some exercise or activity with it. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to try our best to make it as accessible because it's online. Okay, it's online, right? Right. So if you're up for it, guys, I really can't wait to start this journey with you. I have Wednesday night class. Okay, I'm so sorry for those who cannot attend, right? But let's see, by the way, because I'm not sure whether the crowd of this is going to be big or not, but if it's doable, right, we might play with timing. One week is at night, 1 week is at the morning, afternoon and things like that. Okay, so everybody can fit. Okay, but at this point in time, weekly coaching will be on a weekday to fit everybody's session. Okay, yeah. So Okay, so guys, for those who are keen, please do it the soonest, because we're going to start, and this is a special offer price. Yeah, this is a special offer price, like for you guys here now. And it's going to end on the 8th of May. Yeah, it's going to end, so it needs to be immediate action. Okay, and also because we have our materials ready, you know, it's ready to just go out, right? Yeah, so I really can't wait to see how things will go. Okay, right, so good. All right, so if you guys have no more other questions, okay, you guys can actually check out the links, right? So again, please do go through this journey with us. We will really, I don't know how to say, it'll be very interesting. And we would try our very best to actually really give you a very good experience in this. Yeah, and we are happy to see changes in certain people, but I think it'll be more impactful if we do it in a group. So it'll be interesting. And this is really the first time we're trying to do this as a group. So yeah, okay. So guys,
and Esther, I think we need to appreciate the people that stay with us and that understand the emphasis of awareness, and only if they understand the changes that will come, and the understanding, of course, of how health has multiple layers, and we need to take care of all of them. Thank you for being here.
Is there possible to have 2 different time slots? Possible, yeah. Possible, right? It depends on the group. So those who will take package C, I will also include you guys in a circle, like a Telegram group. Yeah, in a Telegram group. Yeah, so we can communicate better. So it depends on the crowd really. But at this point, I think if it's a lot of requests, we would have selection of timing. Yeah, we have selection of timing. So we are quite flexible in a way. Yeah. Okay, so guys, thank you very much again for staying in to this late. Please do sign up. Okay, time is short. Okay, let's have fun together to enjoy this journey. Okay, so by the way, if your question is, will yoga be involved? The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes. Okay, so that will be part of the challenge as well. Okay, right. So now, reminder. Okay, reminder. Change the timing of the class. Timing cannot. Timing of the class is quite fixed, but coaching can probably change. Yeah, coaching call can probably change, but timing of the class is a bit hard to change because yeah, that's already fixed, right? So the coaching one is not fixed. So the coaching one is
for the class.
They'll be replaced, unfortunately to say. So yes. Okay, so so now guys, if you are here, you're still on the fence, I would say don't be on the fence. Just go with it. Seriously, this is a very good investment. But anyhow, there's a part 2. Okay, we'll have replay for next week be available, as we can't join next week. Yes, by the way, so this webinar will be replayed. We'll have a replay. Yeah, everything is shoot out to Facebook. You will have a replay in there. Okay, so I will also send you guys a replay, access to replay. Okay, so yeah, great. So again, guys, part 2, right, will be on the 7th of May. Okay, 7th of May. If this week, okay, doesn't trigger you, next week you will. 7th of May is when, not next week, right?
7th of May, yeah, next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Okay, so this, we're going to have a topic on healing from within. Okay, so it'll be an entirely different topic, this webinar. Okay, for those who are here now, you are automatically registered. Okay, but if you find that our session is really impactful, really helpful, right, please do share with more of your friends and family so that they'll be able to learn as well this part 2 session. Okay, this part 2 session. Okay, so thank you very much again, guys. For those who have enrolled, really grateful for that. Okay, and again, thank you very much for staying in. If you have any questions, feel free to write to us. Okay, feel free to write to us. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.